Hey guys, so today I wanted to have just a little cozy chat with you about something that has been on my mind and something that I actually want to be asking you. I love to do advice videos and I really like to talk about my own personal experiences, the good and the bad, with the hope that you can learn from my mistakes and from the things that I've done right, and that also you can just feel as if you're not alone if you've gone through similar things or you are going through something similar. But on this topic, I do have my own specific opinion, and then I really would love to hear y'all's opinions and experiences because I think this is something that is very hard to tackle and understand and to get a full, complete answer on. And as I have realized in my own personal life, with talking to different guys and guy friends and then girls, I really think that people's opinions on casual dating and casual sex vary a lot. And just getting straight off into it, I'll give you a little bit of my background history. I am someone that I wouldn't say I always have to have a boyfriend. I'm definitely not that type of girl, but I am someone that when I date, I do like to invest my time and effort and my feelings into one person at a time. I'm not someone who likes to go out and, on Tuesday go out with one guy and then on Wednesday another guy and then Friday this other guy and then go back to the guy from Tuesday and, kind of back and forth and whatever. I do know that that is how a lot of people date, especially now and kind of, this modern age and stuff. And, with having social media, I think that's something that even adds to this whole casual dating thing even more. And I think what I mean by that is people now, I feel like, want to be casual because they don't want to fully commit. And I think it has to do something with like the fear of missing out or the fear of maybe finding someone better and not fully committing to someone else in the process of that. And I do understand the mentality behind that, but I do think that's kind of a dangerous, slippery slope to go down if you are viewing people as someone that is around for the time being, but not necessarily someone you feel confident enough in or that you even know well enough to know if they're right for you or if they're even a good fit for you. And I've been told by guys before that I'm a little intense and that I ask hard questions, and I will admit that I do. I know a lot of people say that you shouldn't ask about ex-girlfriends, you shouldn't talk about politics, you shouldn't talk about beliefs, you shouldn't really ask about family dynamics or money or anything that makes people uncomfortable. And I have to say that I just do not agree with that at all. I really think that if you truly want to get to know someone and you want to know if you are compatible, those are things that can make or break situations with people. And I don't really understand, not doing that because you want to seem casual and you don't want to seem like you're looking for a relationship or like you're being too much. Although I do know that since I think the majority of young people nowadays try to be chill and try to not act like they care that much and try to play the little texting games and, just all that kind of stuff. I mean, you've seen all the jokes on Twitter, all the memes. It's a thing. People do it, and I am kind of sad that it's gotten to be almost normal to act a little bit emotionless, and when someone does show their emotions, oftentimes they're thought of as crazy or over the top or overreacting or overstepping the boundaries. And that's what's so difficult about casual dating. Where are the boundaries? And I think that is different for every single person. And even two people that are casually dating each other, their boundaries may not be the same. And that's the part for me that is really hard to wrap my head around. And that's what I would like to hear from you guys. If you are casually dating someone, which means you are obviously not exclusively seeing them, and I would think that that actually would imply that you are actively seeing other people at the same time. How do you work that out? Is it something that is kind of just understood? Do you have a discussion with this person and say, hey, look, I want to get to know you, but I'm not exclusively seeing you? Or do you just kind of let them figure it out? Like, you don't, obviously, do the things I guess that you would do if you were only interested in one person. Like, do you kind of just give them the subtle hints that you're out with other people and that this night you just decided not to talk to them the entire night or whatever it may be? Like, are there things that you do to kind of get the point across that they're not the only one in the running? And, how do you feel like people respond to that? I know personally, I do understand that people need to get to know each other and that you can't right off the bat know if you like someone or if you're compatible. But I do think that by asking tough questions and by really digging deep to get to know someone, you can very quickly find out if you guys would work and if it's worthwhile. And for me, I'm not the type of person who wants to put in, my effort, my emotions. I am very private, and I'm also a very sensitive person. And for me, to get to that point where I trust you and I value your opinion and I want to share, myself with you, I have to be pretty sure about it, And so for me, getting those tough questions out in the beginning and kind of quickly is something I always do, and I wouldn't change my style because it works for me. And I think that's also the thing about casual dating. If it works for you, more power to you. Honestly, I kind of admire you because I am too much of a worry, I don't want to say jealous, but honestly, when I do care about someone, of course, feeling jealous or feeling, just curious or anxious about who else they're with or what else is going on, or if these sweet things they're saying to you are also being said to, 10 other girls at the same time. I think that's completely normal, and I think if you are honestly interested in someone and you're saying that you don't feel jealous, knowing that there are other people involved, you're probably lying to yourself a little bit, because if you really did like someone, you would feel that way. But like I said, I did want to open this up as a discussion in the comments and hear kind of the differing opinions, because I think people will definitely be on both sides of this. Some people will say, hey, I love casual dating. It lets me just, do what I want, be in control, and not have to be responsible for anyone's feelings, because hey, they knew it was casual, and when they got involved, they knew it wasn't a one-on-one situation, so they can't get mad when they find out it's not. And I think there are also people that would say casual dating just blows their mind and they can't figure it out and it stresses them out, which is the side that I am on, and just I feel like I always will be, because I'm just that type of person. I don't know, I'm not the other type of person. But I do want to hear the other point of view, because this is something that I don't get a clear answer on from any of my guy friends, any of my girlfriends. Everyone's answers are so different, and I find that really fascinating but a little scary at the same time, because I do think that there is a level of it's casual because people don't know how to define it. And I think that can be something that if you aren't prepared for it, you can definitely get your feelings hurt pretty easily if you're not really sure what you're in for. I also think sometimes there can be a weird kind of power play with, one person that is seemingly more interested than the other. And I don't know, for me, if I feel like someone's pulling away or uninterested, that doesn't rev me up and make me want to pursue them harder. I honestly have gotten to the point in my level of maturity now where the hard to get stuff and, someone acting as if they're unsure about me, or they aren't, I don't know, they just aren't that into it. For me, that's an immediate turn off, and that's something that I like to know and I like to get out of the way, but it's something that I don't take lightly, and I'm not gonna stick around for that. Although I do know there are some girls where it's the complete opposite. If a guy is really nice to them and giving them a lot of attention, that's kind of gross and overwhelming and too much. But if a guy, gives them a little bit here and there and then disappears and then, is out with another girl, that just ignites this fire in them where they want that guy so much more. So I definitely think it just goes down to personal preference and what you personally like and can handle. And my advice, I guess, would be, and I think this could be a whole nother video, honestly, as far as casual sex, when you add that to casual dating, it gets complicated. Number one, just for emotions and, obviously being intimate with someone, even if you aren't looking at it in an emotional way, maybe the other person might be, or maybe that becomes something that they feel. Once people are together multiple times and that kind of stuff, I do think feelings do tend to grow stronger, and they may not match up, which can be a disaster and can honestly quickly ruin a situation like that, as well as also just being safe. If you don't have open communication about who is hooking up with who and how many people and how often and if they're protected and all that kind of stuff, which just kind of gets into that uncomfortable part of casual dating, which is asking about the other casual people. And I feel like that's the number one thing people don't want to do. They never want to be the one that's asking who else is involved, how often are they involved, where are they involved, why are they involved. I feel like that's the one part that people that are into casual situations ignore. And I even had someone tell me I'd rather just not know. And for me, I couldn't do that. I don't know. I think I'm just too aware, and maybe to a negative point, maybe sometimes I freak myself out or overthink things, but I can't act like I don't know something when I do. And especially if I feel it like in my intuition or in my gut, I would not be able to ignore that. So I really am genuinely, honestly, very curious to hear the opinions about this. So feel free to leave me your own personal experiences with casual dating and casual sex. Are you a fan of it? Why do you think it works? Why do you think it's so popular right now? Like, why do you think people prefer that over serious relationships? I mean, I really do think it's kind of the trending thing, and I think it's more, and people would say it's easier, but I don't think it's easier. Like, I think it's just as complicated. People just don't really want to talk about the complicated parts of it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I'm really looking forward to reading your responses, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.